Oh, I've just missed 11 seconds on this. This is Smarter Than Windsor. Peggy Childers is the name they gave me, Peggy Dempsey, when they kidnapped me, brought me over here in 41. So I'm going to add today, because I'm in a living hell right here in the United States with everybody knowing it, what's been done to me. And they sanction it. They actually, every step of the 74 years of my life, I thought it was funny. Oh, this is how they have harassed me, tortured me, and if you try to tell it, because they've made up a false background on me, and the police are in on the mess, and there's nowhere to go with it. I can't get an attorney. They don't care, or they're afraid that their kids are going to get snatched or programmed, or so the hell with me. Oh, I'm allergic to chemicals. So what they've done is they configured around that illness I have, which was induced when they kidnapped me, is what I'm told, and brought me over here. I get deathly ill. My immune system attacks itself. So what's happened to me the last years is deliberate, and over the other years too. I look back. I didn't know I was allergic to chemicals. And so I don't lose you in this whole mess. I wrote a book in 77, 78, MD License to Kill. The deal was that they were using chips back then, putting them in heart bypasses, root canals. You don't need that anymore. It's so advanced. I mean, you just need your brainwave pattern and stuff. So you can imagine what kind of war game is going on, and nobody's paying attention to it. I mean, they can just whack you and call you up and have you commit suicide. That's the way it would look, give you a command. So anyway, I've put this on other tapes, but this is what's been used against me. And now that I can hardly walk, it attacks my muscles, everything, my veins. Could give you heart attacks, your lungs, your kidneys. Besides the life I'm living. And if I'm losing anybody here, if it happens to you, then you'll understand. What they have used in it is anything you say, you can associate it with mental illness. If you say the FBI after you or helping you, it can be construed by the right people as, well, you're mentally ill, or someone's following you, or you're a bit moody, or, of course, some people can scream and yell, and that's norm for them. But you let me do it, and I'd be handcuffed and carted off. And I had better words for that, but at the moment I don't. So anything that you do, because they're using the mental health system to incarcerate people, torture them, discredit them. With me, the last years after I did the book and got antifreeze put in me and should have died, there was severe brain damage then. Instead, I ended up working for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, in 80 in Madison County, Alabama, Huntsville. So what am I doing working there under the conditions that I went there? Nobody's been prosecuted for the crimes against me. They're still going on. So I ended up here in Roanoke, begging on the street, freezing up on top of Full Heart Knob and all over the Appalachian Trail around there. And you know what people do? I have had them locals blame me because they were at a place where I was, and they had something happen to their family, like a heart attack, or they had their barn burned down. They associate it with being around me. And they've actually attacked me and put formaldehyde, they would burn it around me when I would go out to North Creek Federal Campground, which shut my kidneys down. It's horrifying. Where I've lived, when I could get a place to live, is affordable. That's one of them here. On the surface, it looks good. They're not gassing other people. What they do, and again, if you go to the cops and try to file charges, they'll lock me up. They'll say, prove it. because they already know it. CONTELPRO, whatever you want to call it, law enforcement, and the people have really eat it up. um, Affordable Land has several here in Roanoke, all over. He's become quite wealthy, and he's Jewish. And by the way, the people that helped kidnap me, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and my own ancestors there, go ahead and say it, Elizabeth's father and her, and members of the Windsors, which need to be cleaned out. Let me clue you. I hope I get to go home and some people pay for their crimes, because part of my family that's living in Buckingham Palace helped do this whole mess, the sorry sots. So, the Jewish, Elizabeth's mother was related to the Rothschilds, that were German Jews, and part of the New World Order. So the Jews in 47, I mean, I've been held hostage and tortured, and phone calls made, and I'm told that's on the Watergate tape, 18 minutes, where a phone call was made. I was paralyzed. I knew what was going on vaguely. I knew they were going to kill me, and they were going to lobotomize me if the Brits didn't come across to Henry Kissinger on the Watergate tapes. Well, the Brits did again and again and again. How much can the Brits give? Everything's been taken from them, even their monarch, and replaced by an American. Oh, God, Elizabeth. Yeah. So that I don't lose it here, because it sounds like rambling, and that's the whole thing. It's been my life, and oh well, they'll attribute anything to mental illness when it's a total lie. But anyway, back to the Jewish. If you go back and somebody asks me how it can be proved, all you have to do is follow my footsteps through my life and where I've been. The Jewish, there were treaties in 47. You've got, who didn't use me? You've got Nelson Mandela, after Andrew Young, the American black that was with civil rights leader that was with Martin Luther King when he was shot. Good Georgia governor Jimmy Carter put Andrew Young as ambassador to the UN, who Andrew Young, the whole thing is to strip the UK. That's the central government of the British government. So you strip it, you hold them hostage. So the whole thing was that Andrew Young and company went into South Africa to take it away too. After all, there's diamonds and there's this and that, and they went in pretending to be the good guys, just like they're going to knock out Assad. They're going to go in and say, hey, we're helping you, when I can bet your bottom dollar this country started the whole mess. And then they go in and look like God himself coming in to help when they started it. So I'm going to have to stop in a minute. There's no need, anyway, Nelson Mandela came into power because of Andrew Young and putting all this industry and private money from the United States into it. Let me remind you, the British are not allies of the United States. They're hostages just like me. So there goes South Africa, and strategically the United States has put its military bases all over everything, using the British back in 41, 39, when they kidnapped me, and the Germans. Hey, I know some Germans that have saved my life. So you've got the input of the civil rights. No, it's weird, because if you go through my life and follow it, I mean, they've tortured me. I don't know how I've lived. They've lied about me. They've spread lies like they did Jean Seberg, the actress, who supposedly committed suicide. Well, that's, the truth hadn't been told either, really. Point being, they've done everything in the book to me, and people have stood by and watched it. They actually laugh about it. And I'm going to end this because I can't go to the cops. An attorney won't, they'll take it, but then they won't. in essence, wherever I go, you can. It's just simple. Your air conditioning unit, you can place a little fan, battery fan, or one that you can control from outside the room I'm in, and you can have chemicals in there. And by the way, last night I was shown this. Oh yeah, and I knew it, but I mean to actually have it to see it, I can't get to the air conditioning units. I couldn't stop it anyway. I wouldn't know how to disassemble it. But they're putting vapors and fumes up that actually kill me. I mean, I'm rolling in the bed. I walk out the front door and it's made to look like I'm crazy or something because I put a lock on it, which the maintenance just walks right in. They soak my bed. I'm passed out overnight wishing I was dead. And I called a friend of mine, and I'm going to leave his name out. I've said it before, and he's suffered a lot himself. He's fed, and he's a newspaper reporter, but he's retired. And I was talking to him about it month or so ago about the repairman or maintenance or housekeeping. They can come in and pretty much do what they want to. And there's nothing you can say if the cops aren't going to arrest them. They should be arrested for assault and battery and locked up for good. But in this, you'd be locking up people so far back that the jails would be so overrun in it. So they have, okay, that's just part of it. You can go further with that. Chemicals, whether they're industrial, and I dare say, what's been used on me the last couple of weeks is paralyzing me more. I can't sit to eat, and I mean I think if the world would see how the Americans have reacted and what they've done to me, and they've found fun in it, just total sheer fun. By the way, this is owned by Germans out of Germany, and if they know what's going on, they're not allowed to touch it. There was a holding company that's here today, and oddly enough, and he's head of maintenance, and they parade them around like it's a joke. What can I do about it? I say anything, oh, that's crazy, it's not happening to you. Um, I'm tossed over here back and forth, and nobody does anything except hurt me. I don't think the Germans know what's going on here. But like my friend said when I was talking to him about plumbers and housekeeping and maintenance, um, the feds, law enforcement, get something on them, and they're not going to have to pay for the crime while they're gun ho to do you, and especially me, little old Margaret Ann Windsor. Who the hell am I? And I was talking to Jack, and he's about all this, and he said, hey, I got a knock at the door. The repairman's there after me.